All right, so how do we handle errors? Okay, so notice that we've been um, responding with errors, and right now we just see this big ugly message. So how about signing in? So signing in, right now the implementation is very optimistic, right? So let me close that. Right now the sign in here is very optimistic. It sends a sign in request. I'm assuming it went through and that everything's okay. You like my credentials, and I'm just navigating to the profile. I'm very optimistic. Instead, I could receive a message saying, no, those credentials don't work. I don't know who that person is, right? And then I should not navigate. I should not navigate. So let's do that. So I'm going to create a state variable here where we can, report an error, right, in the screen. Now, if there is an error, I'm going to report it as an alert box, right under the sign in header, right? So it's just a div with an error message that displays in red, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the query, right, to sign in with a try catch block like that, so it's going to go out the credentials. Now, if it comes back with a 401, anything that is not in the 200s, right, that's going to be considered an exception, right? So in that case, so if this comes back with an exception, it's not going to navigate. Instead, it's going to go into the set error, right? And the error is actually here, like that, error. Error. Because I already have error. And this, I guess, is any. There we go. Okay. So let's see. Now, if I clear this out and I sign out, and then if I sign out as somebody that doesn't exist, okay, notice that I get an error, right? Unable to log in, try again later. Notice that I get a 401. See that? 401 from the browser that gets caught in this try catch block, and I set the error, right? And the message, this comes from the server, right? It's the message that we provided here in the sign in. It's this one, right? Unable to log in, try again later. Okay. So in the sign out, in the sign up, right? So for instance, if you are trying to, use a username that is already taken, right? We're going to do the same thing. We're going to report that, right? So in the sign up, right? We're going to have an error message here. We're going to report the error message as an alert box, right under the header. And then we're going to wrap our query here. Instead of being so optimistic, right? We're going to instead going to wrap this with a try catch block so that if something happens here, I'm not going to just navigate. Instead, I'm going to go set error and notify the person, right? So let's try it out. Well, first of all, let's see if it works, the sign in, right? Without the error, right? So if I go to Alice and I actually provide a correct username, I should not get an error and just log in. Yeah, perfect. All right. So let's do sign up. So sign up. So Bob is already taken. So I'm going to try and sign up as Bob. So I'm going to say Bob and some other password. So sign up. Notice I get a 400 saying something went wrong, right? And the error is username is already taken. This error message comes from the server, right? The sign up over here, right? It's username already taken, okay? Or if I use Bob 123 and there's 123, I sign up, right? So how about a profile, right? So a profile, like for instance, if I try to navigate to the profile screen, without logging in, right? Say I, if I now notice that this one is logged in, but say I log out, and I kind of saw what the URL was, right? So I'm not signed in, but what happens if I go to the profile? So the profile fails, right? Because it is trying to retrieve a user, right? That doesn't exist. It's not logged in. Nobody's logged in, so I get a null. So right now I'm responding with a 401, right? Here in the profile, right? If there is no user, I'm responding with a 401. That's an error. So how do we handle that? So what we're going to do is that on the client side, I'm also going to wrap this with a try catch, right? And what I'm going to do is that if there is an error, because I went out to the server, there was nobody logged in, I'm going to get an error 401. Instead of reporting that ugly thing, I'm just going to not try to continue. I'm just going to automatically just kick you out to the sign-in screen. I'm going to navigate you to the sign-in screen, right? So on the client side, right, in the profile, when I try to go fetch the profile, if something went wrong, right, like that, I'm going to navigate you to the sign-in screen, right? So for instance, I don't believe anyone signed in, but if I go to profile, notice that it kicks me back to the sign-in. So there's no way that I can go to anybody's profile, right, without any, and notice that I get a 401, it just kicks me out to sign in, okay?